Abadoo.
You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Bada bang, bada boom. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers. This is my partner, Coach.
Dang it, I forgot my tickle stick.
Oh, Michael, the man himself.
Meant to bring my tickle stick.
I like tickle sticks.
I know.
They are handy critters.
I didn't get a chance to use it this weekend.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
So all I know is I got a stick and somebody's getting tickled.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting tickled with this bad boy at some point. You get to hang out with us for the next hour from 8 p.m. We do this every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., sometimes 9:05, 10, 12, whatever it takes to get our breath.
Who's counting?
Out of us. Who's counting? This is our vacation for the week. If you want to join in, you can give us a call, 262-345-7763. Those who are not good with math,
Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
and if you can't spell, it's 776.
And this is really a good hangout time, not just for us, but for those who join us. And we've got some regular people that, quite frankly, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't know they were tuning in and
exactly
texting us, and we got all kinds of social medias blasting our way, so we kind of keep our eye on everything.
We're kind of bouncing there. We got texts flying in.
Rodney's right. You can certainly call that phone number. That is live, and that will put you on the show if you want to contribute, talk about something you got your own, or if you want to hashtag. If you're a Twitterer, you can hashtag RROR, and we follow that, and we can answer questions live on the air if you want to be a little more inconspicuous and use that.
So you can reach us in just about any way. So, Mike,
here we go.
Haven't said that.
Speaking of fun time of the week, and this is going to be one of those shows. So, folks, if
bear with us,
there's a few times a year that we get on here and just kind of
go at it,
rehash our weekends. And if you're just not interested in listening to us vomit at the mouth over what we did over the weekend, you might as well just hang up the phone now.
Yeah.
But
don't.
But don't.
We had a great weekend. Mike and I got to hang out this weekend with Mike's amazing wife, my daughter and her boyfriend, and my cousin.
We had a family reunion this weekend.
Yeah. It was an absolute phenomenal weekend. We had no expectations. It kind of popped up on a spur of the moment.
I had expectations.
Did you? Did you? I
wanted a lobster.
Well, I wanted a lobster, but I really wasn't expecting one.
Now you tell me.
Well, y'all were buying lobster gear, and I'm going, did you notice I didn't buy any lobster gear?
I'm catching a lobster. Probably not last week, or probably not soon.
But we're going to catch a lobster.
All I know, I've got my license, and I got a tickle stick. That's a dangerous combination.
For those of you who don't know, a tickle stick is a needed product when you're lobstering. When you get right behind the hole and you tickle them out, you just kind of tickle, and here they come.
Just laughs his way out of the hole.
I tickled several fish with it this weekend. So we started out on the beach, and then we ended up in Sebastian Inlet. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our dive, but it's a little bit. We're going to be talking about a little bit of everything.
I guess we'll swing back around to that because there was we camped.
Our weekend, totally outdoors.
We did.
Yeah. There was some frustration.
It was a learning weekend. Yeah. I mean, so it actually is going to be a fun hour because there's some things we haven't hashed this out yet. So this is fresh meat for both of us.
Yes. We haven't even, you and I have not conversed about this.
We kind of went our separate ways after we did our second dive or pulled out of the park on Sunday night and here we are. So let's before we go into all of that, let's talk about some current events, some news stories.
Mike, here's some cool news stories I got for you. Have you all the fish I've caught over the years, tons and tons and tons of largemouth. I'm afraid to guess what kind of number it was. Here's what happened over the last 2 weeks. Incredibly rare orange largemouth caught in Florida, over in Titusville. A solid orange fish. They used to call them golden bass. The last golden bass I've heard of that was caught was in the 80s. Now, I thought they were just a different species because I haven't heard of one since. Well, actually, it just goes to prove that the last known golden bass or orange bass was caught in 1980.
Does it have anything to do with the power plant over there?
No, okay. No, it does not. Because the last one was caught in Central Florida. This one, they blame it on kind of like there's a word for it. I can't even. It's got some
radioactivity.
It's got some X's in it. It's got some I's. It's a ridiculous word. Yeah, but I can try to pronounce it. All right.
Okay, on your mark.
Here, let me get ready. Ready? Okay, here we go.
You get one try though.
I'm gonna take it's xanathism.
Perfect.
Xanathism.
I think you nailed it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I get it? Wow.
From my limited understanding, I'm pretty sure you nailed it.
And it's also known as xanthochrosism.
One try. You had to go there, didn't you?
I went to the next level. There's another word after it.
So it's an orange bass.
Yes, it's a pigmentation. Kind of like we have albino people.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
And it looks like the color of a goldfish. It looks very fluorescent.
Yeah, it looks very golden, doesn't it? So yeah, it's an orange bass.
If I caught something like that, I think I'd be leery of eating it. I don't know why, but
I would want to keep it live and put it on display somewhere. You know, especially as rare as they are.
Would they take it?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt.
If they wouldn't, you could just sneak it in and throw it over the top.
Flip it over the tank.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Hey, how did your fish get gold? Hey, who put a goldfish in here? Yeah, eating up all the other bass. So yeah, I thought that was absolutely awesome. To put the rarity in perspective, our freshwater fisheries research long-term monitoring program has sampled 255,632 largemouth bass from 175 different bodies of water over a 10-year period. No sightings at all.
Really?
This guy catches one in one pond. Just goes to show you.
Was he in the pond or was he out on the coast?
He was in the pond.
Okay.
Yeah, he was actually in a pond in
That's
Titusville.
Trippy.
Yeah. Just one of those things. It happens. And they caught that by electrofishing nearly 30 years ago was the last one that they ever
These guys here caught it by
Not these guys. No. The fisheries, the freshwater fishery research long-term monitoring team.
What is electrofishery?
The electrofishery is basically the fisheries go out and they have these two electrodes. So if you heard me talking on the monsters a couple of weeks ago, Russ had asked this question. Basically, they stick these electrodes in the water and the fish just float up. It just stuns them, knocks them out.
Okay.
And they net the fish and they put them in a live well, a big tank in the middle of this big pontoon boat. And once they get in there, then they pull a scale, age them, look at, check their health, look for parasites, blah, 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 do the whole gamut of tests, and then they put them back in the water. And they're fine. And that's what electro testing, the research electro program is. They just shock them up.
Okay.
Some fish are impervious to the shock, carp and gar. You can't shock those up.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's how that works.
So just to jump around, I don't know if you just saw your post come in there.
I did.
About the bowling.
Yeah. Did you read it?
Yeah, I did. So
Let's read it on air.
Well, first of all, are you doing the bowling tournament this year?
Yes.
So every year, explain this 104.1.
Yeah, every year,
local radio
104.1,
station.
the Monsters in the Morning does a rock pink bowling tournament for breast cancer. And every year I'm invited as one of the celebrity bowlers. Doing it. This is our fourth or fifth year. Fifth?
I think it's your fifth.
Yeah.
I think it's your fifth. I've been kind of pseudo involved with you for the last 3 or 4.
Ever since the first year, we've raised, when it comes down to 60, 70 celebrities, I'm usually in the top 10.
Well, first of all, it's local celebrities, and I'm honored to be friends with one of those local celebrities.
Thank you.
But people, there's actually an eBay auction. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a site.
Maybe I should look.
Yeah, let's start from the bottom. But there's an eBay auction.
Yes.
And these celebrities come on the radio, and they offer things to entice the bidders.
Yes.
To up the ante and keep the bidding,
try to raise the most
for breast cancer and Rock Pink.
Yes.
So the celebrities are up, and the winner gets to bowl with that celebrity that they won at the bowling tournament. Plus, they also get included all of the up your ante. What kind of not the pot stickers,
pot sweeteners,
pot
stickers. I was going to say that pot sweeteners.
Why don't you throw in some throw some pot stickers this year? Just for as a pot sweetener.
How about
I want to throw in some pot stickers. So the celebrities come on the radio every now and then and throw in some pot sweeteners to entice people to bid higher prices and get more bidding going on. So we just got a post in. Rodney was talking on Periscope just before the show, and I overheard you. I'm not speaking factual, but I overheard you talking to people asking about it. So Travis, I wanted to know, does the winner, and one of the things you're offering is a gator hunt.
Is a gator hunt for the last 2 weekends of the season.
Because we're passing quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally
because of timing, the way it worked out this year. So Travis is asking Rodney, does the winner of the bowling bid get to keep the gator meat, and how about the head as a trophy?
That is a yes and a yes and a yes.
I would think so, right?
Yes.
That's part of the fun of the whole thing.
Part of the deal, yeah. I mean, that's absolutely.
Not only that, but you get to get your hands dirty while you're doing the cleaning if you want to. I'm sure, right?
Yes, you can. Now we won't. What we'll do is we'll bag it for you. We won't, vacuum pack it and
right.
cut it, and we'll give you everything off the gator that's possibly.
Yeah, you can do all because there's a process to a lot of that stuff, depending on what they want to do with the hide, what they want to do with the head, the meat. But yeah, you can have it.
Yes, right? Absolutely. Yeah, we can even for an extra fee, we can skull the head for you, basically get it down to a skull, glue the teeth back in, make it nice and pretty and white. You can have it, and then whatever you need, whatever you want.
You can think on that. You can hit Travis up later because I don't know that he's listening live on the show, but that came in. So there's a valid question, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Certainly, you know what? That's something you should mention on the radio this week, though.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Because you say I take you gator hunting, you can up your ante just by saying, guess what? You can take the head home. You can have the meat. You can have the hide, whatever you want.
Absolutely.
But those are all pot sweeteners, pot stickers for you, Rodney.
I am trying to, and I'm trying to find it. How do I find it on here?
Well, there's a vintage program from 1963 for $24.95.
I was trying to. How does Russ always pops it up like?
Well, I would think you could go right to the 104.1 Monsters site, and they should have a link right there. Am I correct?
Yeah, you would be.
And they're gonna slap you in the head when they hear that you were
probably.
Yeah.
Right. MONSTEF Monsters.
So bear with us while Rodney.
Yeah, I kind of want to see where everybody's at right now and see where we're at and what's going on.
So the bidding. Well, wait a minute. First of all, the bidding ends this week, right?
It ends in 3 days. We have 3 days left.
Tuesday,
to bid.
Wednesday, Thursday. It ends on Friday. Is Friday the final day?
Yes. I think Friday's the final day.
So Celebrity Rock Pink.
You have all the monsters up there. You've got Angel. You got Carlos. You got Dirty Jim. You got Russ. And you got that's it. That's the monsters.
And look, the thing, because first of all, it's a lot of fun. There's several. I mean, even if you're not bowling,
spectator pass.
It's very there's a spectator. You can pay. Does it say right there? It is $20 or something.
I think it's $20 for a spectator pass, and $40 to bowl. And I'll tell you what, if you go to the monsters.fm, you click on the Rock Pink Bowling. I'm gonna tell you right now, you will see all the fun we had last year. And the year before, and the year before.
It's. Oh, I got that T-shirt. It's a lot of fun though because
spec pass $20.
It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of like Comic-Cons and stuff. There's people in costumes. I mean, there was an Elvis bowling last year, and there's people walking like from The Walking Dead, all kinds of Star Wars people. I mean, it's a trip.
It's absolutely.
It overtakes the bowling alley, and it's not just a couple thing.
You can register a team.
Yeah.
You can A couple of bowlers, $90. Single bowlers, $40. Spec pass is $20. You get it. Obviously, with all these, you get a shirt.
Have you got sidetracked because you're looking for eBay link?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking. I got. Oh, it says bid now. So
bid now. There you go. Celebrity auctions.
auctions.
Click on that bad boy. Right to the page. Look how that works.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if it puts it in any order. Oh yeah, Jimmy. You should hear what Jimmy's offering.
Dirty Jim.
Dirty Jim is $2,025. He has.
Honey.
He has Jaeger on his side.
Can I borrow some money?
No, not gonna borrow.
He's got Jaeger on his side, really?
Jaeger has set him up with golf bags, golf clubs. I mean, this Jaeger
last year
swag that's just.
Russ took people to Nashville for the CMA Awards.
Oh, Russ is offering. You know the lodge you and I want to go to?
Yeah, up in Maine.
Up in Maine, he's offering 5 days to that lodge. He's offering. All expense paid with Joe up there. He's offering Bubba Lou's party for 10, paid for catering. He's offering.
Okay, get to the chase. Okay. He's offering stuff. He's
offering a ton.
Sorry to cut you off, but time is running out. This hour's going to go really quick.
I'm trying to see where I'm at here. We got some. I can do the top 5. I'm trying to look through here. Bapadoo.
That's actually. Who's the other dude with the gator? Who's Brandon Fisher?
Where'd you see?
Right side. Go down.
Go down.
Who's that dude?
Oh, he's with Bo with Brandon Fisher. He's with Gatorland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy Sweezy. She's a news personality.
Jeff
right?
Howe. Amy Sweezy's $2,050. Russ is at $710. Yeah, Amy Sweezy is killing it. She kills it every year. You remember last year when she was
Tree Rollins
doing? Oh, you remember? We bowled with Tree.
Hold up. Yeah. Magic Star Tree Rollins, $40 minimum bid. He's got 0 bids. That poor guy.
That he was a blast.
I would bowl with Tree Rollins.
Yeah,
Twee Wallins. Would
you bowl with Twee Wallins?
How fun is that?
Yama Bradshaw. C Lane is up to $105. Let's see.
Find it, Rodney.
Now, Mike Kennedy is the one with the Lost Cobra, so he'd be fun to bowl with. You can ask him what's that.
Really? Whoa. What?
Yeah. He's the airplane repo guy.
$76?
$76.
Oh, I see. Do you mind if I not tend your lane if I go down?
No, I buy apps by all means. We got Sabrina, one of my favorites. 122. We got Carlos.
Look at Rodney Rogers. Here we go. Rodney Rogers.
Here we are. We're at 255.
Look at that photograph. That's a handsome man.
I know who took that graph. Bowl with Michael Wanzi, $400. Bowl with Corey Yarkin. She's a singer. She's at $295.
So Rodney's at $255. You have 12 bids on you. So you have some activity, and that's a good thing.
Yes. And Carlos is. And then we have Bowl with Angel.
I'm telling you, we got to move on. So 225. You got to call in and say, hey, you can keep the head.
Yes, I will
keep the skin, because you don't think about that, Rodney. No. You think about the activity of going gator hunting, but you don't think about what you take. Yeah,
you can take it all home.
There's meat.
You take meat. The whole. Where are we at? Okay,
we're talking letters.
Let's do it.
Are you ready? You ready for some viewer mail?
You don't want me to sing.
I didn't have to play the music. Rodney, our friend Danny at Titusville, Florida, wants to know if I fish from the shore using a cane pole. Sorry. Using a cane pole, a Cuban yo-yo, or hand line, which raises more questions for me.
Okay.
With no reel attached, do I still have to have the shoreline license?
No.
Really?
Oh, on saltwater?
Ooh, doesn't say if I fish from shore, so I'm assuming this is saltwater.
If you're fishing freshwater, you don't have to have any license whatsoever. If you're fishing saltwater, you still have to have it's free.
Does the reel attached have something to do with that? It does.
Yes. Once you have a reel attached, it's a whole nother ball game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely. So you still have to have
saltwater, yes.
Saltwater,
freshwater, no.
Yeah, and remember, the shore license from saltwater is free. You do not have to pay for it. Remember that.
Oh, that's a money saving tip right there.
Well, yeah, because what they want to do is they want to they just want to keep track of the fishermen.
Sure.
You just want to know how many people are fishing in the state of Florida.
They want it is. You're a registered fisherman. Doesn't mean you paid for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But from freshwater, no, you do not.
Sandra from Boca Raton. Boca Raton stands for the mouth of the rat.
Woohoo.
It's an attractive name for a city. What happens? It's a good question.
They're inoculated.
Really?
Yeah. They eat them. They can take them to the processor and they sell the meat. They can't re-release them. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think from what I understand, they become the property of that trapper, right?
That's exactly right.
The trapper gets
That's the trapper's pay. He gets paid by miles and whatever he gets.
So you go in and take a gator out of somebody's backyard. That's you now got a head. You have meat. You have hide. Whatever. That's exactly yours. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because remember that the
and
trappers.
That's year round then, right?
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah, that's year round. And everybody who's a trapper does not. They don't get paid for that. I mean, it's
a registered type of thing.
Exactly.
You sign up for
and paycheck. They get paid miles and they get paid.
You're providing a service.
It really is. I would love to be that guy.
All right, another gator question. Here we go.
With the gators.
Channing from Coleman, Alabama wants to know, what are the risks to canoeists and kayakers from alligators?
I will tell you this. Can it happen? Yes. I would not be naive enough or, irresponsible and say nothing could happen to you. But I can say that I've hunted out of a a canoe for years out of, the state of Florida. And I've never even had one.
No, sounds like he's just talking about just canoeing and kayaking, not even hunting for gators.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of relating to it. So I'm hunting him. I'm actually pursuing him. I mean, you have a slim to no chance of them attacking your boat. You don't want to paddle.
I think heavier on the no chance, right?
Yeah, I'd be leaning toward the no chance. But if I told you nothing could happen,
right? Of course you can't.
That'd be. A ridiculous statement.
I mean, you'd have more troubles getting even if you pursued them in a kayak.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go the other direction.
Right. I will give you a little tip here. If you're kayaking or canoeing, you see a big giant alligator raise his whole body out of the water. As you approach him, get away. That's the alligator's way of saying, this is my territory. And this is how big I am. Because he may see your long canoe or kayak as a threat to him.
Interesting.
Remember, they don't look at us like we look at them.
And you're paddling into
exactly
a nesting area or what he's protecting. So that's a great tip if you see that.
Big bull gator is very territorial. You don't want that confrontation. So if you see them raise out, don't look at them. Go, hey, she's so pretty. Let me take a selfie.
So that could be the scenario where in a kayak or canoe it could lead to issues.
Yes.
In any
get away as good as you can. That's them saying, this is my territory. This is how big I am. It's time for you to go.
And this whole question, I'm assuming, is based on you being a responsible kayaker, canoeer, and staying in the boat.
Yes.
Once you're out of that boat and swimming, it's a whole different.
Yeah, it all becomes a whole nother. Yeah. Most definitely.
Bill from Alpine, Arkansas wants to know, what are you supposed to do if you catch a tagged snook?
There's a number on the tagged snook. There's a number on that tag, below the limit or above the limit. You have to let it go, not because it's tagged, it's because it's not in the limit.
Right.
If it's in the slot limit and it's legal to keep, you can keep a tagged snook. But all they want you to do is call in with the information. So basically, they want you to tell them how big it is, how much it weighs approximately, and give them whatever information. And that is very important because they can look at that tag number, BR549, and see that it was tagged 2 years ago. The snook grew by this much in 2 years. That is very, very, very vital information. So if you have a tagged fish of any sort, measure it before you let it go, girth, length, weight, and then release it. Pull a scale out. If you can, even pull a scale out. Tell them, look, okay, they will love you for that. And then release the fish.
Are tagged fish, do they tag fish anywhere, like even a pond, or is it?
Absolutely. Yeah, they tag
neighborhood
fish.
pond. You would tag a fish.
Absolutely. I actually, and the tags are free. You can actually.
There's a kit they'll send you.
Yeah,
right?
there's a kit. They sent us the kit, and we tagged a few mahi. So, I'm excited to see what kind of fish. If anybody ever catches them, and reports them tagged. So, yeah, definitely. If you see a tag fish, by all means, definitely put the picture on our Facebook. We'll put it on our website. That'd be awesome.
So what you're supposed to do if you catch a tag snook is what you would normally do, but just report it.
Yeah, just report it.
If it's keepable, keep it.
Yeah, take a picture of the tag so you have the number and all that stuff on your phone or wherever, and then measure length, which is all the way around the fish, and then voila, release the fish. Pull the scale and release it.
Cool.
Voila. There you have it.
Good job, man.
Ladders. We get ladders. We get stacks and stacks of ladders.
All right. Well, let's take a few minutes, catch up with our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And then come back and do a little reminiscing. You want?
I'm all about it.
Okay.
With 116,000 foreclosures in the state of Florida alone as of January 2014, a quality contractor is critical to the process of returning a foreclosed house back into a home. Let me introduce you to Phillips Contracting Incorporated. They are Florida State certified and an approved REO repair vendor for both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. PCI currently provides multi-level services to realtors, banks, asset managers, in dealing with REO property repairs. They are a design-build company.
Here at PCI, we pride ourselves on professional, high-quality work. Our clients know that we're not your typical contractor. We're proud to be reliable, trustworthy partners with you. Our repair coordinators are ready to communicate with you honestly and quickly about every aspect of your project. We're here to say yes to our clients.
Phillips Contracting services Florida from Orlando to Miami. Whether you're looking for a quote, repair updates, or just want to talk business, give them a call at 941-483-3800.
Gnarly barley, come see why the whole world's singing.
What are you doing?
Dude, I am writing a song.
But first of all, I didn't realize you could sing. Second of all, why don't you just tell the people how great the gnarly barley is, give them the address, and move on with the show?
Dude, have you ever had their flatbread? Their jalapeno flatbread with the cream cheese on top and the chicken and the special sauce on it. Holy moly. No, wait a minute. Obviously, by the look on your face, you ain't never had that big time Fiesta. Jalapenos, provolone cheese, tomatoes, red onions, and again, Fiesta lime.
Okay, that's it. Shut up. We're out of here.
Are you serious?
Come on, we're out of here.
Truly one of Orlando's hidden gems, the Gnarly Barley offers a contemporary selection of bites and brews, serving a mind-blowing selection of craft beers and original mouth-watering menu creations. The Gnarly Barley and its incredibly accommodating staff have created a place that really is difficult to put into words. So do yourself a huge favor and come see why people are singing the praises of the Gnarly Barley.
Oh my goodness.
I told you that big time Fiesta.
That is phenomenal. I totally get why you're trying to write something.
Not as simple as you thought, huh?
No. Okay, check this out. Gnarly barley.
Come see why the whole town's singing gnarly barley. That's rude.
Located at 7431 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida.
Speaking of gnarly barley, we had that for lunch today, didn't we?
Yep.
That's where we do our powwows.
We do a lot of
We get a lot of work done.
We do a lot of powwowing.
Yeah. We should.
Hey, before we go farther,
Yes.
we mentioned the Bowlorama.
Yes.
But I don't think we mentioned a date. It is actually Saturday, October 3rd.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And yes.
Yes, it is October the 3rd.
So I actually won't be attending this year, Rodney.
I know, man.
I'm hoping I'll be watching your Periscope.
I will be periscoping.
So if you are a Twitter person, you can follow Rodney on Periscope. He tends to do that a lot.
Find us at Rodney Rogers Outdoor. You can find us everywhere at Rodney Rogers Outdoor.
What's your Periscope handle? Is it same as your Twitter handle?
Yes. Yeah, you can find
muffin.
What
is it?
Muffin.
Buff
Yeah,
muffin?
Piccadilly Muffleduffin. She old Piccadilly Muffleduffin. So okay, so
back. Let's get on with it.
You know me, and
we hung out this weekend, fishing, camping.
So yes, so we decided, but we came up the spur of the moment. Now I got take a deep breath. We got certified. You've been certified. I got certified last year in June-ish. Was it June?
That's about right.
And I have not been diving since. We've been talking about it, so we fired it up. Said no, I haven't. That was the last I wanted to. I wanted to dive, but I didn't get to go. So we decided we're diving off the beach. We're going to go some lobsters. I found some cliffs that were basically you just swim off the ocean, you dive the cliff. So we said we're just winging it.
Yeah, because if you're a scuba diver, you know what I'm talking about. But when you go on a dive boat, there's a certain element from just being on the environment of dive boat. Number one, you're not alone. There's multiple people. And when you get to the dive site, it's kind of usually a 10, 15, 20-minute ride to the dive site. But then it's kind of a clock starts ticking to get in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time. You should be ready by the time you get there. And there's a certain element of pressure.
Like a 10-minute whistle.
Yeah, we're approaching. Okay, then it's dive, and they want to expedite everybody into the water so everybody can make the maximum of their dive.
Yeah.
So it's, especially if you're not used to that. And one thing they don't teach in scuba school that I wish they would, or scuba training, is that dive boat etiquette, because it's a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole thing that you could be better prepared for.
Right.
So our thought is
wild diving.
It's wild diving, unexplored territory, so to speak. And you lose that element of pressure from the dive boat pressure. Yeah. So it's going to be a different environment. So here we go.
And this was our first.
This was our first
dive.
Yeah, our first beach dive.
And our first beach dive alone together.
Yeah. Now my wife and I, we've done a intercoastal. We've done the Blue Heron Bridge, which is technically a beach dive.
Right.
Without the waves.
Yes.
So a lot more controlled environment.
Right. The waves was our first one. So you and Kim were getting your gear ready. Nick and I were ready. So we put our fins on and we're backing up to the waves. Might I add, that is not a good idea. But there's a better way to do it. So I'm backing up to the waves.
There were 4 of us on the scuba expedition.
Yeah, and then 2
And I'm going to tell you now. You talk to those 4. You're going to get 4 different stories on how this went down.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So listeners, keep in mind as Rodney's telling his side of the story.
I got knocked down immediately, and once I was down, and with that soft
waves were what, 3 to 5?
3 to 5, maybe. Yeah. And once I started backing up, I think did Nick go down first? I can't remember who went down first. I thought you had it all on your GoPro. Was your GoPro started? Have we even looked at that footage?
I've looked at it. It's a lot of water.
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
See, I thought you were the first.
Was I? I may
First
have
of
been.
all, I don't know what kind of millimeter suits we had on. I think they were 20.
I felt like a walrus. They were so thick.
So I think you were in the water first. I think you were first in and out before Nick even got in the water.
Okay.
That's the way I remember.
Yeah. Because I was literally, when I went down, getting up was not an option. So I literally crawled back on shore like a
I thought you were Tom Hanks in that movie with the soccer ball.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was you.
Was stranded or alone.
I thought you were like, where am I?
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I was exhausted. I mean, that wave rolled me over like a dead sea turtle.
What's the name of the soccer ball? Wilson.
So, I get up on shore and I'm just laughing. I can't even focus. So that's when Nick went in, and to see him get knocked about, like,
well, I think here's how it went down. I thought each one of us goes,
yeah,
they're doing it wrong.
Exactly.
I got this.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let me show them.
We each said, we got this. So one by one, We look like the kayak episode.
I was going to say, if you saw our kayak episode or heard us, I think that was the last time we ranted on like this.
Yeah, we're not really good at this outdoor.
It was a very similar experience.
Yes.
Very similar.
We got 80 pounds of gear on, give or take, 15 pounds of weight.
Well,
50 pounds.
Well, that's
of gear.
the thing. If you put this gear on, it's awkward enough moving about.
Yes.
But then you add the waves to it.
Oh yeah.
And come to find out, for those who are screaming right now saying the right answer,
right?
From what I understand, we shouldn't have been wearing our fins, going into the water.
Which
I get it now.
Yeah, my second trip, that's exactly what I did. I took my fins off. Nick and I said, "Look, let's take our fins off." So I took my fins off, and I said, "I'll meet you out there." And I took off, and I actually got out in the waves. I put my mask on. I went under, put my regulator in, and I dropped to the bottom, and I put my fins on, just like clockwork. But while I was under, a 90-foot wave, a tsunami was coming in and rolled me, back up on the shore. So my whole fin episode was totally redundant. It washed me back out. Let's just put it this way. If I had another GoPro, I'd have lost it too. And as I tried to swim, the water was so murky, I was literally swimming back to shore. So, I mean, it was just a mess. So when I got my mask, and when I looked up,
oh, really?
Yeah, I seen Nick already knocked down. I seen your wife on her back in the waves, washing back and forth. And I'm going, we're done. And then I seen you go down.
Yeah, because now that I've seen 3 people fail miserably,
right.
I've got this.
Yes,
I've learned from your mistakes. It's like watching the American Ninja. If you're the last contestant, you got it all figured out.
Yes.
So I'm not going to fight the waves. I'm going to dive underneath them like a surfer would.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. How did that work out?
Not well.
Not yet.
It felt like it was fighting them for 10 minutes. It was probably 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I would dive under, and every time I would hold my mask and just afraid they were going to get yanked off.
Right.
And I was kicking and kicking, already cramping up in my legs.
Oh, yes.
Because you're just kicking and kicking and kicking and feel like you're making 5 foot for every wave.
Yeah.
And then it actually went through my mind, well, what if I get out there and nobody else can? Because I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Yes, apparently.
But I look back and everybody, yeah, you're right. Now I see 3 people washed up on the shore.
We look like baby sea turtles upside down. None of us could move. We're just.
I wished that I was one of those bystanders just sitting on one of the umbrellas up on the beach.
Me too.
It wasn't a real crowded area.
No,
but there were people there.
I guarantee you were dying. Absolutely.
They had to have just gone, this is awesome.
Yeah. How we're not on YouTube already, I will never know.
I've got bruises on my body. People ask me, did it work? How'd you do that? I'm like, not really sure. I know when it happened, but I don't know really what hit me.
So we get back up on the shore.
But not only that, but we have I've got a net attached to me. I've got a tickle stick dangling over here. I've got a flashlight. All this contraptions that I'm not normally even used to hanging off me as I'm getting tossed about in the surf.
You look like Inspector Gadget. Cross between him and James Bond. I mean, you were.
I was going to tickle me a lobster.
You were impressive. Yeah. Oh, when I seen you walk, I said, "This son of a gun right here is going to be the man today." I'm going to wish I was Mike today.
But see what we didn't see where we have to throw this disclaimer out.
Yes.
I don't know how far we parked from the car, Rodney.
Long way.
But it wasn't 50 feet.
No.
Just say, was it a quarter of a mile?
Probably.
At least an eighth of a mile.
Solid eighth of a mile.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But we trekked through a wooded area down a trail.
With our gear on.
Yeah. Carrying these tanks.
Yeah.
And then we get to the beach and you can see where the reef would be.
Yeah.
So we need to walk up shore a little bit.
When you guys started walking, I went, oh, hell no. But because I was done, Mike.
I was already tired.
I was tired.
But then I get there and I
forgot something in the truck.
I forgot something in the truck. So I thought I'll be back. I got to go get it out of the truck.
And you left your 20 pounds
Yeah,
away.
and I left my weight belt. I get halfway back on it. I could have just dropped my weight belt and not wore that back. So before we even started these shenanigans,
yes, So we decided we were all wore out. Going off the beach was not an option today. This is advanced diving 103.
Yeah, the biggest thing I took two things. I thought, well, maybe we should have taken that shore dive class.
Yes.
And number two, I thought the first thing that hit me was safety.
They have a class for that?
They do. They actually have a class specifically. It's one of the Patty's specific courses on shore diving.
Okay.
And the first thing that hit me was safety. I thought the buddy system is out the door here now. We can't even take care of ourselves, let alone our buddies. So if we go in there, and Nick hadn't been diving in 10 years. This is his first dive in 10 years. And I'm thinking, this is the point. This if we go in, we're foolish.
Yeah, we're asking for
we
trouble.
realize we just got our butts handed to us.
Yeah.
Kim used 1,000 pounds out of her 3,000 pounds of air. It just that that demonstration.
Fair to say we even got our suits wet.
Okay, I kept thinking back to my piloting days. If three things, it's kind of the 3 strike rule.
Yeah.
If things start stacking up and you hit 3, we were there. We were like at number 5 or 6 things that have gone off course, and it was time to say, let's rethink this. And Kim, bless her heart, she's still sitting with the waves sitting. I thought, did I just look my wife sitting out there in the surf pounding her?
She's like, no choice.
And she's like, no, I'm staying here. I'm ready to go back out.
Yeah, she's like,
oh, I'm not moving.
I'm this far in the water. I'm not being negative.
I'm like, sweetie, we're done. We're done here.
On the Ive day from the east.
We'll find someplace else. Lose your tank. You're fine.
So at that point, we decided to go back to Sebastian Inlet, where the water was calm. We had current, but no rough, nasty water.
This was all on Sunday.
Yeah, this was all on Sunday. So we go into Sebastian, and the lady said, look, I don't recommend you guys diving here, but you can. And Nick and I have always wanted to dive growing up Sebastian Inlet. It's just been one of our bucket
This is
list.
right there. This is that main bridge.
Yes.
Right? That you and I have been to a couple times.
With the current, and it's very intimidating. It's very scary. It's if you're caught in that current, it's a big deal. Boats, so we did. We got in. It was murky, to say the least. There's times when it's crystal clear. A little pool that we all put in. Once we got out of that, we had about 10-foot visitation.
Well, there was a
visitation. We could see 10 feet.
Yeah, you sure could. The pool, what you call the pool area where we went in, was actually a little treacherous.
Yes, it had rocks.
Had rocks in there that you had to be really careful.
Yeah.
And the visibility in that area was so poor. You couldn't, when you put your face in the water, you couldn't even see the rocks you were tripping over.
6 inches, yeah.
Literally, you couldn't see 2 feet.
Yeah. The visibility there was literally maybe 8 inches.
Yeah, it was bad.
You had to get out of that and into the current before you could see anything.
Yeah.
So that was. So once we got the diving, okay, we got our gear going, we got everything working. We were doing what we wanted to do, and that was amazing.
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, for the record, Kim and I pulled the plug at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because just because,
right?
The visibility was poor. Kim wasn't into it. I was just like, we are fine.
Right.
We were very content.
Yeah.
Like, so put me up on the shore.
Nick and I decided to go ahead and dive.
You did.
And it was literally an amazing experience. The fish we saw hundreds of snook. And if you're not a snook fisherman, or if you are, there are no shortage of snook. We saw the snook. Once we settled on the bottom, my thing was just to watch the fish and see what they're, watch the snook and see what they were doing.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Their habitat, and what we're in their world, and I wanted to see what was going on with the snook. So we watched them. They started the longer I sat still, the closer they got to me, and they got to where I could just reach out and touch them. And that's how close they got to me. And they were not afraid of me at all. So we got to watch those. We got to see African pompano. If you've never seen one of those, that is an amazing fish. And it's a very sought after game fish, and they're very hard to catch, and they're very areas. As might I add, it's an African pompano.
Wow.
So beautiful fish. We saw sheephead. Basically, we just dove that whole area. And while we were diving, we noticed a lot of things. We started finding tools. And then I got into the thing of, man, I was overwhelmed by all the...
You were like at a redneck yard sale.
Exactly.
Underwater,
redneck
yard sale.
Where everything's a quarter. And I'm just buying up things like crazy. I'm literally grabbing hands full of lures off the rocks and just throwing them at the fishermen on the beach, you know. And at one point, Nick and I unwrapped a cast net that there was little fish caught up in. They
that was quite a find.
Structure, and they were, it was almost like a gill. A cast net is like a gill net. So we untied that. I used, and this is where,
check this out.
My line cutters.
Check this out.
Came in handy. While we were pulling that up, so many lines have gotten 50 to 100 pieces of fishing line that was connected to it streaming off that you couldn't see.
That's crazy, man.
And it got wrapped around my mask and my regulator. So every time Nick was ahead of me, now remember, visibility was very low.
Yeah.
When he yanked on the cast net to get it off the rocks, he pulled my mask and regulator out of my mouth because his line was wrapped around. So I first reached for my knife, but I couldn't quite, I couldn't feel with my knife. Trying to feel where the line was with my knife. What I could do was grab that line with my ring cutter's hand and simply bend it over and just cut it off.
That's crazy, man.
I found a new use for the cutters, the line cutters that I don't even think they even have done yet.
Yeah.
So I was able to cut it out. I still had that line wrapped around. I don't know if you saw it. It was still wrapped up in my regulator.
I walked over just as you were like, Nick, whoa. You had it. Yeah, I saw that.
So, I mean, it was just absolutely instrumental. I mean, the amount of fishing line that was in the rocks, and it was amazing. I mean,
obviously that's right by the pier, and so it's an area that a lot of people are standing on the shores casting their stuff over, and it's a very rocky area.
And what would you say an area we dove in? 60 by 100, maybe?
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, tops the way.
Yeah.
You stayed close to for the most part, you stayed close to the shore. You went on a few times.
And every time I came out, I brought up 5, 6, 8 lures wrapped in fishing string.
Yep.
And I came up 8 times, maybe, ish.
I mean, what a great, turned out to be a very conservation type of trip.
It really did. Some girl, I guess, said they were there a couple weeks earlier, and they were snorkeling, and they saw that net and tried to get it out of the rocks weeks before that. We had a gentleman on our Facebook. He said that he was diving there or he was throwing a cast net there, and we very well he lost his cast net, and this happens. It's no fault of his. But he said Chris Hall is a buddy of ours on our Facebook. He said that, he tossed his cast net and the rope broke. And sure enough, this cast net we found, there was no rope in it. I found it odd that there was no rope.
Yeah.
So very well could, and he was like, man, there's no way I could dive after that. That area is dangerous. And it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do not want
there
in this area because, I mean, even if you dove, you might break your neck on a rock. That's
you definitely don't want to dive in there.
Yeah. Diving is not an option.
That could be a horrible story.
When I say dive, I mean like
dive off
the rock, jump in,
feet first or head first, not
at all.
It's dangerous in there.
Yeah, so
even walking in there was dangerous.
He was basically saying thank you, man, because he said he legitimately felt bad.
Yeah,
and I could see why, because you throw that cast net, odds are you just wound up a bunch of fish in it.
Sure,
it broke. So
yeah.
They were doomed from the start. So we saw the baby sea turtles. Sea turtles about 20 inches. Saw 4 or 5 of those. I mean, it was just an overall it made me want more of Sebastian Inlet. It really did.
Well, it also it's interesting to know that you can take some gear out and just take yourself out, drive to the coast, and walk in and go experience this stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, you can see the fish, you can see the environment, you can clean up the environment. All this stuff is available to you just with a simple car ride,
and get the feel from the other side.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to take a couple of newbies. We got to take Jordan and Nico that never dove. So while we were diving, Jordan found a GoPro.
Oh yeah.
So
here we go.
We get into that footage. So we found a GoPro. It's a Hero
4, I think.
4. We open the case, and this thing is dry as a whistle. It's like brand new inside. Mike downloads the footage, and it looks like that the young lady who owned it for about 15 minutes. Maybe a couple days, week at the most. Pictures and videos. We don't have videos posted. We have pictures. And I'll tell you, we posted the pictures that we posted are there was tons of pictures. Now, we don't want to put pictures out there of anybody.
It's not our job to broadcast somebody else's
family photo. Vacation. Exactly right. So we just put just a couple great videos of pictures of the family.
The ones that hopefully I could identify faces or maybe even the surroundings.
Exactly, or even surroundings. So we kind of went that route. We don't know when it was lost or how it was lost. We do know that one little girl's name was Morgan.
Morgan. We heard that in one of the videos,
in one of the videos. So if you can go to our website, RodneyRogersOutdoors.com, click on Found GoPro.
Found a GoPro right across the top. Found a
GoPro. And look and see if you recognize anybody, and definitely share it by all means.
Who knows?
We would love to find the owners, and we would love to hear the story of the GoPro.
Yeah,
because we found it in Sebastian Inlet, and we seen when she lost it. It fell right off her selfie stick.
Yeah,
and bounced around her feet for a few minutes.
And it was not in Sebastian Inlet.
No, and it was not in Sebastian Inlet. So we're not really
sure
sure
to know the migratory pattern of that thing.
Right. Where exactly it is. We can't tell if it's North Florida, South Florida.
Come back.
Oh, okay. Christopher Hall just says, hey, man, funny part is as soon as we tuned in, we hear about Castnet. Thanks for getting. Oh, by the way, can we get it back? We cut that thing to 100 pieces to get it out. We found this GoPro, so pop on there. I'm going to post on our Facebook as well.
Yeah, I sent you that. I sent you one of the photos.
I'll put a picture on our Facebook, and we'd love for you to share it. And then I think it'd be interesting to hear the story.
Out. Yeah,
you could see her feet dancing around it, panicking.
Yeah,
kind of looked like a panic. So maybe we'll put her little foot dance on there.
But it's curious to see. Yeah, so if you check it out, like I say, just click on the link. Found a GoPro. I think we put 3 pictures up. Recognize anybody, send them out. It'd be fun to just reconnect and have a reunion with the footage and the owner.
Yeah, and just say, hey, here, we got your GoPro. How awesome is that? She probably cried the minute she lied. No, I cried and mine left me. And
family vacation pictures. That could have been. Who knows how?
Yeah, exactly.
That could have been some treasures.
Absolutely. So, we're definitely, we got that posted up. We're going to be making a lot more trips back to Sebastian Inlet. And I've said it last year, and we didn't really have a lot of bites on it. I would love to put a crew together to be certified at a dive shop. We have a couple in mind that we'd like to use. We need 6-7 people. I know one will be me because I want to get my night dive certification, and I want to get my my next level, deep water.
You need your advanced.
That's the one I'm looking for. So, and I just want those 2.
I think what you do is you can do 2 electives, what they call electives, and your night diving would be one, and the shore diving is another one. I highly am going to put my hand up for the shore diving one.
Shore dive, yes. I think maybe we squeeze that in.
It's accessible to us, but somehow we did not conquer it on our own. I need some guidance there.
It's like I said, it's like a force field. We were right there at the water. We just couldn't.
For what it's worth, I could post that footage onto your outdoors page if you would like me to, Rodney.
I would love to.
If you're in for just a good
pure hilarity.
Yep.
I would love for you to, Mike.
I don't know if you can literally tell up from down on the video, but it's
up. I think that'd be awesome. I mean, you know, we are, there's some things we're new to in the outdoors. I mean,
no, exactly. This is about as raw as it gets.
This is raw as it gets. And this tells you, this is why Mike and I started Rodney Rogers Outdoors. It's a lot of stuff is new to us. And a lot of stuff is not new to us. I've hunted and fished all my life. I just got certified diving. I have snorkeled and spearfished via snorkel, but never dove. So I'm a year into diving. If you're a diver or you want to be a diver, let's hook up. Let's put some groups together and there's safety in numbers, and
it's just all about together. The outdoors and friends.
And I'll tell you what, the 2 new divers we took, they're hooked.
Yeah.
So, it's the other side. It really is. And I don't mean the other side as far as, spirits and all, but I mean the other side as far as underwater. So that was, and we can go on about that, but our show is pretty much coming down to its last.
Well, the other thing is we jumped when we started telling the story. We jumped right to the scuba diving part. But the fact is, we went down Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
Does to sleep on the beach.
Oh yes, do not do that.
Yeah, note to people. There's only a couple places in Florida, from what I understand, maybe 3 tops that legally you can sleep on the beach, and Sebastian is not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Officer Jordan.
Yes,
he'll tell you that.
He'll tell you immediately.
So we bailed from their original idea and went and found the campsite and ended up at the Sebastian State Park. Yeah,
which is nice.
It was nice.
It was actually worked out a lot better.
Had showers, it was great. And so we pitched a tent, which we were prepared for to put on the beach, but we pitched it. So I had a few things, Rodney, that if you don't mind, I wanted to
absolutely
summarize in my own way.
Let's do it.
Thoughts that kind of I brought home from this camping trip.
Mike.
So number one, I took away that a good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Got to be flexible, right?
Exactly. Got to be flexible.
Number one, humor is the best ingredients of survival.
Yes, it is.
Right? People sleeping in sleeping bags are the soft tacos of the bear world.
Yes, they are.
Right? That's another thought.
Yes.
What about this one? What doesn't make you stronger, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
Oh, definitely.
Except for bears, they'll kill you.
Yes.
That's
they will.
Another one, right? My wife stayed out half the night, I think, romping the woods with your daughter and her boyfriend, and she finally comes back and she gets real close to me. She's like, "Are you a campfire?" I'm like, "What?" She says, "Because you're hot and I want s'mores." And I was like, "Honey, we're out of marshmallows." So maybe I misunderstood what she was saying.
I think you may have.
Yeah. And camping is nature's way of promoting the hotel business. I figured that out.
Yes.
Yep.
Because we almost went that route.
That is fun. Camping is fun if you like to pretend that you are homeless. That's another thought that's comes to mind.
Yes.
If you're going camping this weekend, you probably won't poop until Sunday.
At least.
So keep that in mind. All right.
At least.
These are the words of the wise. My wife's favorite thing about camping actually is when she doesn't. I figured that out. That is.
She loves it when we don't.
Yeah. When she doesn't, for sure.
We all group don't do it. Yeah.
And you call it camping. I call it getting drunk with insects.
That works.
Yeah. That's talent. And last but not least, it's all fun and games until someone loses a wiener. I mean, in the fire, right, or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining us. It's been a good time.
Absolutely. As my mama said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get outside and stay.